Imagine yourself on a quiet beach, the sun shining and the waves gently crashing onto the shore. But suddenly the calm is broken by a deafening noise and the water rapidly retreats. In a matter of moments, a wall of water as high as a skyscraper crashes down on you, devastating everything in its path. This is not a movie, but the harsh reality of what can happen during a rogue wave. Today we explore some of the most impressive tsunamis ever recorded, uncovering stories of devastation, survival, and incredible natural force. But before we get into the details, it's important to understand what tsunamis actually are. These phenomena are generated when a massive amount of water is displaced in a short period of time. This can happen as a result of an earthquake, a volcanic eruption, or an underwater landslide. The waves that form can travel through the ocean at incredible speeds, reaching up to 800 kilometers per hour. However, when they approach the coast and are in shallow water, their height increases dramatically, turning into terrifying waves that can exceed 100 meters. The true power of a tsunami is both fascinating and terrifying, having devastated many nations throughout history. But which tsunami has left an indelible mark on the collective memory? We begin our journey into the past with one of the deadliest tsunamis ever recorded, the one that struck Indonesia in 2004. This event, known as the Sumatran tsunami, was caused by a magnitude 9.1 earthquake that generated waves up to 51 meters high. In a single day, over 200,000 people lost their lives in 14 countries. Although these waves were not the highest ever recorded, their devastation was unparalleled. The images of destroyed beaches and swept-away communities remain in the hearts of those who survived. But that's not all. One of the largest tsunamis ever recorded occurred in Lituya Bay, Alaska, in 1958. This remote bay, located on the Fairweather Fault, had seen tsunamis before, but what happened that day exceeded all expectations. On July 9th, a powerful earthquake measuring between the magnitudes of 7.8 and 8.3 triggered a massive landslide, sending approximately 30 million cubic meters of rock and ice into the bay. The result? Waves as high as 149 meters. It is surprising to think that only 4 people were present to witness this catastrophe, being in their boats. The wave, so powerful, hit the landscape, leaving marks that are still visible today. We head to another event that occurred in Icy Bay, Alaska, in 2015. This usually calm fjord was hit by a 193-meter wave, generated by an underwater landslide that sent another 30 million cubic meters of rock crashing into the sea. This tsunami went almost unnoticed. The lack of witnesses and its remote location made it a poorly documented event until seismographs revealed the activity. We leave the frozen lands of Alaska and head to the heart of Europe, where another dramatic episode awaits us, linked to a destructive wave, but this time not caused by nature, but by man. We are talking about the Vajont Dam disaster in Italy, one of the most shocking events in modern history, not only for the impressive height of the wave that hit the valley, but for the heartbreaking number of lives that were cut short in a few moments. In the 1950s, Italy was busy building what was intended to become the tallest dam in the world. But already during the work, landslides and signs of geological instability began to appear, signs that were underestimated or completely ignored by those responsible for the project. On October 9, 1963, a massive landslide slid into the reservoir, causing a wave that topped the dam itself, reaching heights of 250 meters. The water swept away nearby villages, taking with them 1,918 lives, including 487 children. This disaster remains one of the most serious man-made environmental accidents in history. To conclude our journey through disasters, we return to the United States, specifically to the state of Washington. Here, in 1980, another tsunami occurred due to a volcanic eruption, that of Mount St. Helens. After more than 100 years of apparent inactivity, the volcano suddenly awoke on May 18th. An earthquake of magnitude 5.1 shook the area, causing the collapse of the northern slope of the volcano. Millions of tons of rock and earth poured into Spirit Lake, generating giant waves that reached 250 meters in height, overwhelming everything in their path. The subsequent eruption was of apocalyptic proportions, releasing an energy equivalent to 26 megatons of TNT. 57 people lost their lives and the area was reduced to a lunar landscape. This event represented a turning point in the understanding of the mechanisms that can generate tsunamis linked to volcanic activity. These stories remind us how majestic and unpredictable our Earth is. Tsunamis, with their unimaginable force, continue to be a monitor of the destructive potential of nature. Thank you so much for joining us on World Catastrophes. If you found this video interesting, please leave a like to support us. Subscribe to the channel to receive new content and share it with someone who might appreciate it. See you in the next video.